Hello, cookies! There hasn't been anything recently happening in the gaming news section because there's like the US election and everything else comes second after the US election, and like I am really not involved in it because I'm not from US. Like some people are tweeting about it even though they're like from England and stuff. And I just don't get it because it's honestly not their election, and some people would be like, "Oh, US is super influential." But honestly, you can't do anything, so what the hell, internet? What the hell? Why should I know about it? I don't need to know about it, but I do. So, anyways, because the political climate is like super on fire, I thought we're gonna do something a bit insane, a bit fun, and a bit something that nobody is ever gonna see this or be interested in. I decided to rank my top 10 favorite vampire boys from Vampire The Masquerade Bloodlines, which kind of means that like human characters are like immediately excluded. So we still came up in the excess. So people that I threw out were kind of major characters, but we're gonna talk about that. Like some minor characters here and there are also cool. So coming in at number 10, because I needed to fill in the spots, Nines. Nines gives off major dad energy if you're watching LA by Night by any chance. But in Bloodlines, he's just kinda edgy, old soldier type of, I don't do any bullshit, this is how it is. And I fight for what is right and stuff. And I don't appreciate those attitudes. Like, anarchs often come up like really, destructive when you think about it, and they come up as either the exact same system as they're trying to abolish or as slightly disorganized. So I don't honestly appreciate them. Like, I can appreciate their spunk and their spirit and their hot-bloodedness, but it's just not alive for me, right? So Nines, thank you for teaching us some things in the game, and you fought a werewolf and that was awesome. Even though later on in the non-canon tabletop versions it was clarified that, well, in the tabletop that was being led by a White Wolf developer, it was clarified that that was a pup. So that's the only reason why he could take it down, because yeah, wolves are supposed to be like really, really strong. But yeah, fighting a wolf is really cool. And he looks good. He honestly is quite the eye candy. But that is about it. That is about as much interest as this character has given me, as much as it tingled my jimmies. So we are gonna be moving on to number 9. Number 9 is Isaac Abrams. He is higher than Nines, not because he's prettier, but the opposite really, despite him being Torador. Is higher than Nines because of how he carries himself and how he conducts business. He comes off as a fairly friendly chap that honestly tries to help you quite a bit, but you turn him down because you honestly don't trust him. Like, he suggested you a ride. He suggested you a ride to the mansion, and you're like, no, I trust the guy in the cab, which I don't blame you for, because apparently the cab driver is a vampire, and like, suppose one way of making your immortal money is through cab driving, so that's not judging, man. Not judging. But yeah, outside of the fact that he absolutely demanded that you fetch his DVD for him, he was quite nice. He is honestly comes off as quite the nice man. Not to mention very reasonable, conducts business well, and you can't say that for anyone in the LA bar with the anarchs. And he is an anarch, so hey, we have a decent anarch over here. So hey, totally deserved to make the cut. Going down to number 8, we have Barabas. Yes, Barabas has just outranked both anarchs because I can't actually find the clip of it, but I do like his accent. So despite the fact that you interact with him not at all, he looks cool. love the eyes. Absolutely love the eyes. Like, people go, oh, Nosferatu, he pulled the short end of the stick. He didn't. He didn't. He came off with gorgeous eyes, and honestly, not super bad looking. Like he could have been Bertram. Bertram has boils on his head. He has like a nice rounded head shape and nice eyes and wonderful accent, and he punches people. That is like the only thing that he does. He got himself captured and he punches people, and I'm like, you know what? Making the list. As opposed to people like Sebastian Lacroix. There isn't like that many characters in Bloodlines. Okay, I needed to make a top 10. I figured my top positions, and then I was like, hey, what would be an interesting addition? Moving down the Nosferatu clan, I have no idea why, but Mitnick for some reason got an official poster, and that is him, and that looks absolutely nothing like him. But thought, hey, he got a poster, he deserves a mention. Plus, the last time, the last stream that I did, he couldn't find his keyboard and was typing on air and decided to face away from me when having a conversation, which was honestly really entertaining. So, you know, the guy has a sense of humor. The guy has a sense of humor. Plus, he actually likes being undead, which for some reason is rare. Like, he goes, oh, I get all the, like, guest toys and I get immortality, and this is cool, man. It is cool, man. It is. And then you have, like, tourners in the castle, like Ash going, I had to pull back from the view of the public, and that is so absolutely awful. Why Nick is there just rocking like 20 laptops that he's probably frying daily, just having the time of his life. I am not actually too sure that they buy those laptops. I'm like pretty sure that they steal their computer equipment. But still, hey, the guy's enjoying it, which is like, fly by me. It totally flies by me. So how many positions are we down? We're actually at 6, and we're on Mitnick. Yeah, I have interesting tastes. You can always tell me your favorite ones in the comment section down below. Coming at number, which was it? No, Mitnick was 7. This is 6. Yeah, Gary! Gary, because Gary has, like, great accent and great way of speaking.
Something wicked this way comes. I don't remember seeing you on the guest list for the dinner party. We're having a rap party for the Misfits, about 40 years late. Cast and crew only, boss.
Now, you see, Gary is a slimy bastard. Gary is a slimy bastard, like most Nosferatus are, but despite a lot of self-deprecating jokes, he carries himself with some amount of grace. And you can just hear the dislike seeping from him while you're around. It's like he hates himself, but he still thinks that he's above you. So there's just like seep of dislike, just kind of rubbing off. And you know what? Maleficent characters are cool by me. They're very cool by me. I like a bit of hatred on people's tongues. It's like it makes their words softer and ow, nicer. I might have cut my tongue. That's fine. But yes, he's quite theatrical as well. Could have been more theatrical, but hey, he made it. He dug up skeletons. He dug up skeletons just for that intro. Deal with you. So, A+ for dedication. Not to mention finding the actual crew. I think he did that. Otherwise, he just dug up random skeletons, which is also quite metal. So Gary gets metal points. Andre, coming in at number 5. He mostly gets score taken down off him for being very on script. If he had more lines, I think it would have been a bit more interesting. And also because he's actually very low generation. He's generation 7th or lower. And over 100 years old, and like a pleb like you just went in and destroyed him, so... yeah, Andre, what was that? What was that? Like, you have all of these atrocities and all of this gross stuff, and you're pretty high up the vampire chain, and then you go up and die on me. But hey, wanna hear the best thing about Andre? It's the fact that he calls Deb on the radio to tell her that the world is ending.
You're whiling away the evening with the Deb of Night.
Good evening, Deb.
Yes, I think that's implied by the title of the show.
Do you ever worry, Deb, that the world is going to end?
I haven't felt that way since Brad Pitt got married.
Do you have any idea how insignificant you are? When they start devouring the world, you will be but a blood stain on their capes.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
There is a red star in the night sky. The blood of mortals and the blood of ages, all will be consumed. They are coming. These are the final nights.
Okay, well, good luck in the next election, Senator.
Can you imagine Andre just like sitting in his little whatever kind of place that he made for himself, calling up a radio show to tell them that the end is coming? Come on, you gotta give Guy credit for doing pretty insane shit. Or at least interesting shit. Normally people are so serial, and here's a guy. Plus, he seems to really have had a raptor fetish, like the whole dinosaur head thing. Yeah, I understand that they want to be bestial, but that has to be specifically his thing. I mean, maybe the guy was a bit into dinosaurs before he died, you know? It's kinda... Andre's the kind of person that you don't actually want to be in the same room with, because you would probably be dead, but you would like to, like, isolate them with, like, impenetrable walls, and then observe and have conversations with, as you please. That's the kind of man that Andre is, and because of that, he lands a pretty high position. Coming in at number 4 is Kane himself, or the cab driver, whichever, for doing this metal thing of being like the first vampire on Earth, but driving a cab. Not judging. This is a bit of a Malkavian interaction.
I'll drive. If you figure out where you want to be taken, tell me. Yes? No? There is something troubling you. In your voice there is desperation. Certainly, there is an exit out of your predicament. Rabbits also flee, but sooner or later their fate is a wolf's jaw. And the wolves have your scent. You're coated in the blood of the ninth one.
I just absolutely love how the Malkavian has a complete breakdown about the fact that this guy just exists, and he just kind of brushes it off, like, doesn't say a single thing. Not a single thing. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna let them have their breakdown, and then I'm gonna direct them to whatever they're supposed to be doing instead of interacting with me. So yes, mysterious cab driver gets the 4th spot for daring to drive a cab. Everybody's out there, like, fighting for power, and this guy's just like, cab. So yeah, moving into number 3, and at number 3 we have the Smiling Jack, because he was a pirate. He was an actual pirate, and he is having the time of his life. very unpredictable, channeling that chaos energy to the maximum. And kinda cares to actually help you out. No matter what you tell him, no matter what side you are on, he's nice. And there's very few nice people out there, and even though nobody tells you to trust him because major chaos energy from this guy, but nice.
What a scene, man. Hoo-wee. Then they just plop you out here like a naked baby in the woods. How about that? Look, kiddo, it's probably a lot for you to take in, so, why don't you let me show you the ropes? What do you say?
It's like, not only does he show you the ropes, right? He's taking this whole thing with like a sense of joy and laughter, and doesn't seem to take life too seriously. I mean, major chaos energy would totally mess up both sides, I think. Coming in at number 10? Number what? Me? Number 2. That's the person that decided to channel the Matrix for his appearance. Maximilian Strauss, as he likes to introduce himself. Apparently really old. Really powerful. Wastes time talking with you because I suppose there wasn't anything better to do. Wonderful polygons of a head. Once again, nice Matrix outfit. Very pleasant. Cold, but pleasant. Not to be trusted, ever, because practically nobody's to be trusted. But hey, there's like at least a 500-year-old, if not older, vampire going around and Bloodlines, casually interacting with people. Like it's perfectly fine. And here's not a nice clan. You like read about them, they're very anal about their structure to a point where they're incredibly oppressive. And yet this guy will take the time to interact with complete nobody for some bizarre reason. Plus carries himself with such energy. Like, resonates power. Well, Jack resonates chaos. This guy just resonates power. Sounds pleasant. Liked his coat from the other side more, but most people never look behind him, even though the NPCs are like completely stationary and will never comment on the fact you're kind of running around them in circles trying to get a better look-see.
Greetings, neonate. Might I assume you received my invitation? I have been looking forward to meeting you for quite some time.
Plus writes bad poetry. Really bad, edgy poetry. And has the confidence to post it to you. And includes signs that were either put there by a death cult or by them themselves, and the death cult is using them as a marker as well. One or the other. Either way, weird. Weird situation to be in. And coming in at number 1, we have to put Beckett here, honestly. A lot of people would actually like Beckett to like be a teacher kind of guy. I don't blame them, because it's like, if there's major powerful energy on Strauss, major chaos energy on Jack, Beckett is like all sarcasm. All sarcasm. And he's an archaeologist, which is a very weird profession for Gangrel to take. And he has been doing nothing but research for like 300 years, which is really, really odd. But I absolutely live for his sarcasm.
In the last few seconds, I've had very few epiphanies. I may be old, but I didn't build it. How knowledgeable are you on ancient Assyrian funerary constructs?
Also, apparently the guy gets shit for being embraced kind of late in his life because he's either late 20s or late 30s, which apparently is unusual. Apparently, and in Bloodlines University really like the stupid dumb teenage people with all that stupid dumb teenage energy, I guess. So yeah, major cool points. Weird profession choice, which kinda adds to the cool points. Fact that he managed to just be a researcher and take no side in the power struggle. All of the weird surrounding history puts him in #1. And I am not gonna tell you how many of this list I would have the hots for if they were real people, but a few. It's not necessarily your appearance, okay? It's how you carry yourself, how you present yourself. And if you manage to burst to the brim with personality, it actually makes you quite hot. So hey, anyone else wanna try to rank Bloodlines characters while we're having a bit of an off day? Well, nothing much is happening while the world is still on fire. Of course it is, because of course 2020 just has to continue going, and I don't wanna know what is next, so let me just stay in my happy place where I rank Bloodlines characters. We may have the girl side of this at one point. Totally depends on if there's anything to actually talk about or not. If there isn't anything nice to talk about besides politics, I'd rather rank Bloodlines characters, honestly. So that's the video. I have spent way too much time on this, and I'm gonna get way too little views in return. But hey, my evening was fun. So how was your evening? Anyways, if you like the sound of my voice, because obviously I'm enjoying it, for I am still listening to it, then please subscribe to my channel. I normally do gaming news. And I'm gonna see you the next time. Toodaloo.